What's going on, baby boys, baby girls? Welcome back. Glad you made it. It's another So-So production. Friday, July the 29th, 2022. Baby boys, baby girls, ladies and gents, I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're all safe and sound wherever you are in and around this beautiful planet, aka the blue marble, floating in mid-air, levitating all day, every day. Today, I figured we're gonna go for a sweet, sweet walk right down the street with the people of the beautiful city of Toronto. Just gonna see what's out here, what's out there, and just have a little fun together. You'll see a lot of amazing things. Beautiful people. What a beautiful car. That is an amazing car. Look at that. Hopefully you guys saw it in the background. And that's what it is, man. We're just gonna talk, have a little ball, and spread love together. That's what it's all about. But you know, I got a few topics on my mind. One topic specifically that I wanted to get into, and we'll get into it nice and easy. Now, if you're out on a walk like your boy and you decide to go for a longer walk than usual, maybe half an hour, 45 minutes to an hour, make sure you're not wearing boxers like your boy's wearing boxers right now, because that is the type of underwear that will definitely give you a wedgie, unless you're looking for a wedgie. Maybe times have been, you know, I get it. It's, you know, a lot of people, you might be in that stage of life where you're just like searching for a partner or something. And in the meantime, nothing substitutes a partner like a sweet wedgie. You know what I mean? Just somewhere in there, something moving around. It's like, you know, you're by yourself, but at the end of the day, are you? Yeah, you are. You are. Nonetheless, we're having a ball. It's a beautiful day today. It's the perfect weather for a walk, you know. Mid-20s, I want to say mid-20s, and this is like room temp. This is ideal for anything and everything. And this weekend, if I'm not mistaken, in Toronto, we got the largest festival that celebrates the Caribbean culture. It's called Caravana. For those of you who know, you know. For those of you who don't know, if you're in the city, check it out. A lot of fun, a lot of activities. It's going to be food, there's going to be drinks, there's going to be music, there's going to be dancing. It's going to be a good time. And it's good to get to enjoy each other's uniqueness and learn about each other's differences that bring us closer together. And all of a sudden we're like, man, you and I aren't so different, are we? Totally the same people, almost, give or take. And that's what it is. The more you talk to people, the more you realize when you listen to their stories that we're all pretty much the same, give or take. You know what I mean? Different shades, different heights, different buoyancy levels, but more or less the same. We all go through the trials and tribulations of life. We all go through the ups and downs. We crawl our way out. And what's that at the end of the tunnel? Oh, I see a light. Touch the light. Go for the light. Seek the light. Go, yeah, reach for the light. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm spewing out there. And together, I believe we got this. I believe in us. Hold on a second. We're gonna have to, between the wedgie and the carrying of the old camera and the old coffee mug in the hand, this is quite the workout. Might not seem like it, but it's quite the workout. I do, you know, just a regular walk. Wouldn't hurt you to go for a walk, would it? Probably benefit you. So do that. I've been listening, I've been hearing recently we've had one of the biggest busts. We've had one of the biggest crime busts in the GTA. Apparently there's a whole bunch of carjackings taking place all over the city. And this is the real GTA. This isn't that PS5, PS4, PS6, 7, 8, 9. I don't know which one's out at this point. You know, this isn't one of them video games. We're talking reality, baby. People are playing that GTA in the GTA. And, you know, it's interesting. Because, well, so many questions. And the answers are out there, but let's get into them. And why would anybody steal cars for, you know, if you're playing a game like the GTA, I get it. Your boy's been there. Probably done it myself. In a game, hella fun. Nothing better than playing a game where you get to play out some fantasies, perhaps, or not even fantasies. That's the game. That's not even your fantasy. It's just the game. You happen to just be playing the game. So, tis what it is. Let's run this light before it turns green on the other side. We don't want to be turned into, you know, a flatted out version of ourselves. You don't want to see this guy right here having to peel himself off the old streets, the old sidewalks, or you might. I don't know what you're into, but I plan on keeping everything intact. Mind, body, soul, spirit, all the good stuff, you know. But yeah, man, there's been some car thieving going around. Some people are playing that game of, you're that hot rodder, aren't you, out there? You're that carjacker. Some call it a car booster. Some call it a joyrider. You a fella or a lady who gets a kick out of joyriding out there? You think it's fun stealing people's cars? Well, guess what? It may be. Maybe you'll get a rush of adrenaline. Maybe you'll feel excited doing it. But at the end of the day, when it's nighttime, how do you go to sleep at nighttime? You know what I mean? That's like, you put a major dent in somebody's pocket there, at least time, because you're like, whatevs, they'll get it through the insurance company. Somebody will replace it. Well, that may be true, but you know, let's get into the what did I want to talk about, man? I wanted to okay in real life, am I for stealing cars? No. If we're playing hypothetics, you know, we're playing hypothetics, I'd definitely be down to, you know, concoct a plan of, you know, let's play around with that. It's a heist, but with cars. It's basically, you know, you got that need for speed. You got that, you want to plan a little plan that may resemble a Gone in 60 Seconds sitch. You know what I'm saying? It's okay. So you need a plan. You need a well thought out plan, and you need lots of abled bodies to help you with this, because this is not a one-man operation. This takes time, this takes effort, coordination. You need a plan, fella. You know, lady, you need a plan. You can't just go in there all willy-nilly spark plugs and crisscrossing wires. And maybe that's how it's done. From what I gather in the movies, you crisscross a couple of wires, sparks go flying just when the other guys are right behind you, but you make a swift getaway, because that makes for a good movie. You know what I mean? You don't want to be in the getaway car crisscrossing some wires. It's not working. Next thing you know, some fella's right behind you. A knock knock, who's there? The story changes all of a sudden in a different direction, doesn't it? So let's, before we get into it, you need a plan, son. You need a plan. You need a master plan of sorts, and you need a bunch of guys you can rely on. And these are probably not you're not gonna go for your typical 9-to-5ers when you're hiring, when you're putting out the ad in the local newspaper for the crew, if you will. What a beautiful day in the city, and the train is going right on by. See, beautiful day, beautiful day. So you need a bunch of guys, and they need to be reliable, but also a little bit unreliable, because you don't want a fella or a lady who only sticks to the rules. You need a fella or a lady who can think on the spot. When things don't go according to plan, can they think outside the box? You know, these fellas may not be the most, you know, they might not have done so well on their SATs. We don't even have SATs here in Canada, so chances are they've probably not done that well. It's all about availability and access, of course. But, you know, these fellas and ladies might not have even... these fellas and ladies are safe to say they've had a rough initial start at life. And, you know, hardship after hardship, a little stint puts you in juvie, this, that, and the other. You're making new friends, you get out, you're making plans, but you need a master plan, all right? You need, this is the thing, it's not just, okay, you take the car, it comes with a lot of stresses. Where does it even go? All right, fella? Because you can't just roll up to any old place with any old car. It's not even your car. So talk about risks. Talk about risk assessment. You know, you need a place, you need a compound. Hopefully you got a compound. If you're in this line of business, I'm hoping you got a compound somewhere in the east end of the city, or maybe the west end of the city. Southeast, west end of the city. It's the industrial part of town. There are multiple industrial parts of the town, so where's the compound? I wish I could tell you. I only ask the questions, don't have any of the answers. Never have, never will. Promise made, promise kept. Yeah, so you need a compound. You need a location. And you need ladies and fellas who are willing to, you know, go that extra mile. You know, we need somebody who can potentially, you know, we need a hacker of sorts. That's what you need. Because there's going to be at one point, I'm assuming you're going to get to a gate. There's going to be a door or multiple doors with fancy high-tech new button doors. Those are doors with buttons where you got to punch in a code of sorts. And this ain't that code that you just memorized like your lover's phone number. This ain't that code that you memorized like it ain't your mother's birthday, let's just put it that way. You keep guessing, you only get 3 chances. Third time you strike out, alarm goes off. Next thing you know, boop, boop. Who's outside the door? Popo's outside the door. Everybody's getting busted. Oh no, another 5 to 10 for, you know, Jim and the gang. So these are all things you got to think about. Is it worth it? You're like, if it works out really well, yes, it's worth it. Okay, but how often does it work out? You're like, a good portion of the time. I'm like, man, that's, you know, risky business. And I don't have the numbers to be able to speak on this. But I do have a little memory that I could share with you in regard to the automotive sector, the automotive industry, because your boy spent a little bit of time in the automotive sector. I'm aware of a few things, not too many things, a few things here and there. I remember back in the day selling cars at a Toyota dealership, and this is a side note, by the way, it has nothing to do with stealing cars, but I wanted to share with you guys anyway. At one point, it was the end of the month, and as a young man trying to earn a decent living, earn an honest living, selling cars, I had a client at the end of 1 month come in, and it was an odd couple. There were, you know, not an odd fella or an odd lady, but an odd couple. Meaning, if you looked at them, they didn't seem like a regular couple. And you're like, what's a regular couple? It seemed like they were a fugazi couple. Let's just put it that way. It seemed like they were putting on an act because they were really bad actors. And normally when you're selling cars, at least when I was selling cars, people don't necessarily roll up and buy a car all in cash. That is an anomaly. It's extremely rare, at least from my experience, and especially cars that are, you know, a little bit more expensive. So this couple one day walks in. It's a smaller Asian fella, beautiful, smaller Asian fella, with a thick old Slavic lady. And right off the bat, everything just seemed off. As soon as we got to interact with each other, it just the gentleman introduced the lady as his wife, which is, I don't really exactly remember how it went down, but the way it went down, it was just very unnatural. And it was one of those, you know, I know a fake couple if I see a fake couple, fam. If I see a fake couple, I'll know a fake couple, because all day, every day, your boy's surrounded with real couples. Been knee deep in real couples since '89, baby. I know my real couples when I see genuine holding hands. I know what's up. I see, you know, a fella holding a purse. I know it's genuine. That guy's committed. He doesn't want to be holding that purse, but he's, man, let's all just, you know, let's all pretend like we don't see it so he can save face, because he's committed. So that's genuineness. But when I see a fugazi couple, it doesn't happen too often, and you got to be terrible actors. It just, it reeks. It reeks, son. This was the type of couple that if you asked them any sort of question about the other person, they would be way off. Way off. What's her favorite color? Purple. It's orange. You know? What's his favorite pastime? She says golfing. He's horrible at golfing. How did we get here? What I wanted to say is that one day this couple came in and wanted to purchase this vehicle all cash. Moolah, dollar bills, y'all, right on the tables, ready to go. And he was insistent that I know that he's purchasing the vehicle for his wife. And at the time it was if I'm not mistaken, it was a Toyota Sienna, but a particular type of Sienna. It was like the top trim, 7-seater, white exterior, black or brown interior. And when I was going through the numbers with my manager, I told him the story, and he's like, yeah, we're familiar with this guy and other guys like him. So apparently what they do with these Siennas, apparently they're really popular in some parts of Asia, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere in China. They grab these Toyotas that are harder to get over there, and they import it from Canada to other places in the world and sell it for, I guess, a little bit of a profit, or a little bit more than a little bit of a profit. I don't know the exact numbers and digits, but that's essentially the story. So this fella and lady were adamant that the procedure looks legit, at least. I would guess that's their deal. She would show up with him to dealerships, pretend like they're married, so I guess it solidifies the story a little bit more. You know, you catch a fella by himself rolling into dealerships month after month buying cars. Seems a little bit odd, to say the least. Not that anybody's questioning anything as soon as the money comes in. I don't really particularly think anybody cares what your relations are, and that's not anything particularly illegal. I don't think, at least. I don't know. It was a little bit weird, the whole acting thing. Like, they were definitely, trust me, fam, when I'm telling you they were not a couple, they were not a couple. And it was the oddest couple. You like this tiny fellow with this huge lady, and they knew nothing about each other. Nothing. Absolutely zilch. So that's my, if I had to guess and say they were a real couple, I'd say no, they weren't. Again, I'm surrounded by real couples on a daily, so I think I've got a good grasp on things, but you never know. Anywho, to not get sidetracked and go back to the original story, we were talking about carjackings and car theft. You know, is there a sigil? Let's, before we get into, because we all, sure, the obvious is that it's bad, don't do it, boo-boo. But is there a scenario where you can think the carjacking or the car theft would be acceptable? What if they were jacking the cars, shipping them in a shipping container all the way to the Congo, and they would have the cars may be for blind children. Yeah, that's right. Maybe the cars were for blind children. In that scenario, would it be okay? I mean, if it's for blind children, I'd be willing to look the other way. God knows they're probably looking every other way as well. So does it really matter? I'm not the one who's driving, but I'm just saying, like, if it's for a philanthropic cause, then maybe we could get behind it. Like blind children in the Congo getting their brand new Highlanders or whatever else vehicle that is getting stolen. I don't know, maybe we can all rally behind that. If it can bring a smile to a child's face for even a moment, maybe we can all rally behind that. Is there another scenario where we can think of where stealing a car would be appropriate? Okay, what if somebody's a terrible driver? You know, what if it's like that? I've not watched the series, but I'm sort of kind of familiar with it. Like Dexter, I believe he has a thirst for killing, but he can only kill serial killers or other killers or what have you. So same situation. What if you have to, because it's just something, you know, you got bitten by that bug of car stealing for some odd reason. You were hiking, you got bitten by a tick, now you're out there just, you know, like a raccoon in cars, just foaming at the sight of a unlocked car door. You know, you're just looking for people who leave their car keys in their cars, and you're right there. You're a key pervert. You're a car key pervert. Let's just put it that way. What were we? Man, lost the trail of my thought, fam. Not gonna lie to you. Oh, and what instance would? Let's say you could do it like that. Let's say somebody's a horrible driver. They've gotten mad speeding tickets. They've gotten, you know, all the citations, all the demerit points. Their license has been suspended several times. You steal their car. Is it so bad? Probably still, yes. It's hard to think of a situation where it'd be okay for you to jack a car, you know, because typically people rely on these things, and even if the insurance company does pay out, it's just a bummer to go through all that. Oh, the paperwork, having to explain where'd the car go. I don't know, it's missing. Who stole it? I have no idea. Was there a camera inside the car? Outside the car? Outside your house? Do you have a camera on you? Are you a camera? How are you not a camera? So these are all the questions you have to answer, and it gets frustrating. Days of paperwork, I'm assuming. You gotta find a new car now. Sucks to be you if you happen to be the target of a stolen vehicle. I remember actually having another client who happened to have his car targeted twice, and this was, again, a few years ago. Toyota Highlanders were apparently, you know, they were hot. People would try to bust into them and steal them. The story was that they would grab them, put them in shipping containers down at the port, at the local port, some port, and yeah, ship it off to God knows where for an extra buck or two. Living the fast life, cash money, all that, you know. So let's yeah, I really can't think of too many circumstances or situations where it'd be appropriate for you to steal somebody's car. Let's go over methods of prevention. Fam. What about, you know, is your car, let's ask these questions. Are you, because first of all, is there a few of them that might be inside jobs? Totes, dude. Totes might be inside jobs. Some of them, not all of them. If I were to guess, dude, today you're getting Detective Rob Sadri, dude. My brain's thinking, because these are my neighborinos. I can't have people's cars go missing all willy-nilly. Again, if it's for a good cause, I'm supportive of it. If you're, you know, but if you're out there just, you know, from everyday folks that are working hard. Oh, I can't get behind that. I can't even get in front of that, dude. So that's just your boy. But let's go over preventative measures if we can together. Preventative measures. You can, you know, first of all, make sure your cars are locked. That's the obvious, you know. A good key, a good lock, a good, you know, sometimes investing in one of those steering wheel locks goes a long way, fam, because you want, you know, one of those that look like a bar, like a straight up bar that just goes across your steering wheel and it locks your steering wheel and you can't break it most often. From, again, it's just another hindrance, right? You want to provide as much hindrance for the thief as possible. You don't want to make it easy. You know, if you're rolling your windows down with the car keys on your car, chances are it's going to be an easy target. Car windows rolled up, you put a couple of extra locks on that car, you know, and you put a lock on your steering wheel, maybe write a message, maybe just a message that just reads, hey fella, quit staring at this car, to move along. Write a note. It doesn't mean, maybe a threatening note of some sorts, maybe a note that just says something along the lines of, hey Buster, we're on to you. Just let him know that you're one step ahead, or at least you're thinking about taking steps. You know, maybe make your car seem a little bit undesirable. How about that? You know, maybe going to the car wash every day is not the, I'm not trying to put the blame on, I'm not trying to, you know, this isn't the victim's fault at all, but I'm just saying, take a little bit, you know, if you're washing your car every day, your shiny car, you know, are you, but then again, you know, that's I don't want to put that on the victim either. I'm just trying to look out, fam. Maybe, okay, you could keep the car shiny, but maybe grab, okay, you come across a roadkill, a skunk, a stinky old skunk, and it's stinking up the place, because that's typically what skunks do. Oh, that's horrible. That's a horrible smell is what you say whenever you smell that roadkill. Maybe next time you come across a roadkill, put on your flashers for your emergency lights for a second, pull over when it's safe, of course. Grab a if you happen to have a plastic bag, that'd be ideal. If you're gonna raw dog it and just go hand first and grab the skunk, then your hand's gonna stink as well. But my suggestion to you is that you grab the skunk, put it in a plastic bag, and just put it in the trunk of your car, dude. Put it in the trunk of your car. Nobody's gonna want to steal a car that smells like skunk. 98% of car thieves have reported that they don't like it when they're trying to steal cars and their car that they're targeting smells like skunk ass. Who would? God knows I wouldn't, even in the most dire circumstances. Even if they were begging me, even if it was they were asking me to do it, I say no, dude. Why? You got your car smells like skunk. It's horrible. I don't want to be in that situation. Nobody does. What else could you do? You could what if we had some sort of electroshock sort of a situation working, where you rig the car so that if anybody else aside the owner were to touch it, they would get electrocuted or zapped. How about that? Zapping cars. More cars that provide electronic shocks. So I'm talking anybody that gets near the car, within 1 foot of the car, you're getting zapped. And you're like, my neighborhood's pretty safe. And we've got a lot of kids running around the neighborhood playing all sorts of games. Double Dutch, tag, hopscotch, cricket, badminton, soccer, football, street hockey, the hula hoops, shuffleball. Is that a game? You know, ping pong, table tennis, all the popular games that kids play. And you're like, what if the kids get shocked? Well, again, you teach the lessons early and we're all better off for it. So, you know, you're looking out for you so your car doesn't get stolen. You install a little zapper on your car, provide a little bit of that electricity. Again, there might be some you know, collateral damage. But again, it's all about sending a message. It's all about working together as a community and using our resources wisely. That's what I'm saying. Take a look at this beautiful bridge that we're under, by the way. Beautiful bridge. We're walking down Yonge Street. What a beautiful day. So that's what that is. You can, you know, zap because that you cut it at the source. Somebody comes and tries to steal the car, you give them a nice voltage. I don't know what's the voltage that, you know, like a taser, like a light taser, or one of those, like, what are those things called that they put on your chest at the old hospital to bring you back to life? It gives you the I forget what they're called, but you know, the thing that they rub together, stick it on your chesticles, and like, maybe, I don't know, is that a good enough power to just put somebody off so that they're not, you know, they think twice about it at least. That's an alternative method of saving your vehicle. What's another method? You could, you know, a lot of people believe in parking their cars after they arrive at their destination, i.e. their homes, and then going inside and, you know, spending the rest of the time inside their home. If you don't want to get your car stolen, maybe spend a little bit of time in the car. Because, you know, if it's not chaperoned, if it's not supervised, whose fault is it? You're like, it's not my fault. No, it's not your fault, but I'm just saying, if you spend a little bit of time in that car, other than the time that you're just using it for your personal pleasure or leisurely activities or just day-to-day life and routine, well, then you wouldn't be in this mess, fella. You wouldn't be in this situation if you just spent 6, 7, 8 hours sleeping in your car. So next time you point the finger and be like, oh no, my car's been stolen, where were you? You know, typical absent car owner story. A car that's just gone down the wrong path because they were unsupervised. Man. Hold on a second, fam. We're about to cross the street. I don't want to get run over. And there seems to be a fire hydrant that's just soaking up the streets, which is cool. I don't know why, but it's cool to see that. And I got distracted because I have eyes and it's right there. It's hard not to get distracted by that. You know, if this was the olden days, you'd see, you know, if the higher, wow, gotta step aside so we don't get splashed, dude. If this was the olden days and there was a loose fire hydrant, naturally you'd see kids playing by the fire hydrant, but the future is now, and kids are not into that, and neither are adults, so nobody's really getting their money's worth when it comes to fire hydrants. But let us not get distracted. Let us stay focused and concentrated. Let us stay on point. Let us stay on track. And also, give me a second, I gotta adjust my hands and everything. The old arm is definitely getting a workout. This is great for your balance, everybody. Great for the shoulders, great for this is great for the prostate. This walking and holding something, it's great for your ladies. This will tighten up the old ovaries. I don't know how it works. Maybe you need it to be loosened up. It'll loosen it up. It will tighten it and loosen it, and you'll be more fertile, if anything. All of us. Yeah, that's right. It's all science. So, you could hold on a second. Large vehicles tend to cause a lot of noise, hence sometimes I gotta just slow it down and wait for them to pass by. Nonetheless, what were we saying? Oh yes, here's another trick that you could do. This is what I suggest. This is my personal favorite. This is actually what I'm willing to do for the Glad You Made It gang, the family. Put a word out. Put a word out. I don't want you to be worried about if you're driving any sort of car that might be tempting for somebody to come and steal. Your boy from tonight will appear. I will go in the trunk of your car, dude. I will go in the trunk of your car so that when it gets stolen, I don't need you to put in a tracker, dude. I'm your tracker. I will go all the way to the Congo. I will go to Nigeria. I will end up all across the globe. Just this is what I need, baby. From you, all I need is a power bar, a Gatorade, 2 Gatorades, one for me to drink and another one for me to drink, and also probably gonna need to piss in one of those, or maybe 2 of those. I don't know how long it's gonna take. How long am I gonna be in that shipping container? Jesus. But I'm dedicated to this shit. I'm not gonna let you suffer, okay? So I want you to put the word out. Whoever's watching, rest assured, when you're sleeping at nighttime, when you're spending time with your families, because you decided, man, life is all about family. I don't want you to get distracted. I don't want you to get sidetracked and focus on I will crawl as soon as I finish uploading every video. I will crawl in the back of your trunk and I will get in there. I'm so flexible, dude. I'm so flexible, and I can't wait for it. I will go in a shipping yard, in a port of sorts downtown, so we can get to the bottom of this, okay? And I will gladly travel all across the globe in probably a ship. It's gonna be rough seas. I'm gonna have to do the podcast from inside of a trunk of a car, inside of a shipping container, inside of a ship, inside of the ocean, on top of the ocean. Let's hope we don't go inside of the ocean, because that means we're drowning. And I, for one, I don't think anybody would benefit from that. I don't think anybody would want to see that. It would, like, tell you what, if we can do this for like the last season finale of the show, when I'm like 155 years old, last episode, it can go down like that. So it makes for a few, because that's the thing, you always wish, like, you know, you want to, that's an unpredictable ending. That's what it is. And you want to go out with a big bang, but I don't want to wait that long. So I'll be willing to tackle this situation right now as we speak. I don't want to wait till I'm 155. I want to be helping now. And again, like I said, I'll crawl into the back of that trunk. I will show up there in about, I don't know how long it takes, 7 to 8 business days, 7 days to a month. It's a long game. This is what I meant when I said initially you need a plan and a whole bunch of people who are willing to go the extra mile or two, or God knows how many miles we're talking now. So I'll get there and then I will pop out. And you're like, man, you're gonna be jet lagged. How you gonna like respond to the situation? Dude, I live on jet lag. I don't even get jet lag, dude. I don't even know what that means. I don't even know what it means. Tired from traveling. But you ask anybody, what do you want to do? I love traveling. So, you know, if you love traveling, you can't be jet lagged. I love traveling, can't be jet lagged, dude. Anti-jet lag. So I'm in the trunk, I pop out, and it goes down. It starts to go down. I'm talking fellas with possible, you know, heavy artillery. I'm talking machine guns. I'm talking strapped. I'm talking fellas who are always, they look like they're always sweating. And it's hard to determine who's in charge, like that kind of crowd. And I'll go right up to them after I like stretch my legs. I need like, give me like 10-15 minutes of like stretching the old legs. If you can't give me 10-15 minutes to stretch the old legs, considering the fact that I just traveled all the way from North America to probably Africa or Asia, if you can't give me 10 to 15 minutes of stretch time, then okay, fine. Okay, fine. I won't wait and stretch. I get it. There's an urgency. You need somebody who you can just, okay, I'll stretch when I get back. God, I'm putting so much on the table for you guys. And I'll keep doing it, baby, because that's what I does. And you're like, how are you going to attend to multiple cars, multiple locations, 24/7, 365, 7-Eleven? Dude, it's called the old Santa Claus method, baby. We've got precedent. It's been done. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. It's just literally take the same determination, passion, and the desire to be the best detective out there. Journalist detective Rob Sadri in the building. You know what it is. So that's what I'll do. I'll go there, no stretch, the old legs. I'll just be like, who's in charge? I'm the captain now, is what one person will say. I'll be like, where are the credentials? And I'll just shoot in the air, and I'll get really scared because I'm terrified of gunfire, like most people. Although I'll try to keep it straight. I'll keep a strike. My poker face is good, dude. I can't really like control my bladder that well if it comes down to gunshots. I'm only going from hypothetical experiences, of course. I'll keep a straight poker face, but I'll like slightly piss my pants. But that's the thing, you're dealing with a professional. I'll go in with dark pants, dude. I'll go in with dark pants. I'm talking the darkest shade of pants you've ever seen. Maybe I'll just paint my legs dark, and nobody's even gonna notice that I'm not wearing pants. So when I do pee myself, it's just like, what's up? Super comfortable, no pants, colored. Yeah, because you know they do that with the ladies. You know how they like color the entire body and it looks like they're wearing suits and stuff that are like, you know, really tight on their bodies, and you're like, man, that's beautiful. Same sitch but with a dude. So I'll do that for you guys, because that's the type of person that I at least strive to be. And I'll get in there and I'll have a conversation. I'll be like, what's going on here, fellas? What's going on here? We just willingly thought we're gonna just take cars from people's garage. Yeah, is that the deal? We're taking cars from the old garage, and you know they'll probably respond something along the lines of, yes, that's exactly what we're doing. It's an international crime syndicate. And I'll be like, aha, I knew it. Detective Rob Sadri, everybody put your guns down, put your cigarettes down, put your machetes down. Put your machetes down, first of all. I don't like the tone of that machete, sir. You know, put your machete down, thank you very much. And it all ends here. It's all over. This sick game, it ends with you and me. Why? Because we didn't wait. Because we didn't, well, we did. We waited quite a bit. And we're patient like that. And waiting is a good quality and virtue to have. Patience. And I'll speak to them. I'll be like, what's the big deal, fellas? Don't you think you're having a negative impact on people's lives, stealing cars? And these people are hardened by just life and bad decision making, so they don't really seem too keen on listening to me. But that's when I turn the cameras off. That's when the cameras are off. And frankly, I don't want to expose anybody to that sort of thing, because let's just put it this way, you'll end up with your car, but you know, and you're like, well, what happened to the syndicate? Don't worry about it. It got taken care of. Let's just put it that way. How about that? Open-ended discussion, story. Open interpretation. What happened to the syndicate? What happens to all syndicates? You know? It's, some of them do well, eventually go legit, and then start doing white-collar crime. You're right about that as well. And I'm not too informed, so I'd like to get informed, but most syndicates, what I was trying to say is that it doesn't work out too well for them. The longevity of the game is very minimal. Average lifespan of a car booster, they say you're in the league for 5 to 10 years at best. You know, so you got a small window. And it's a mental, physical, and spiritual game like anything else. So before you go ahead and invest a lifetime of boosting cars, jacking cars, joyriding, speed racing, you know, doing it for the whatever's, you know, I don't know what's going on inside that mind of yours, but for whatever reason you're out there trying to steal these cars, or any other car for that matter. I want you to know that the city of Toronto and the good people of Toronto and everybody else, because this is the GTA, baby. I know it's like it's right on our name. It's, you're like, well, if any place that's gonna happen, it's in the GTA. If Grand Theft Auto is gonna go down, it's gonna go down in the GTA. And that is a beautiful coincidence, and I like the fact that we're called the GTA. But man, does that twist my titties when I hear that somebody stole somebody's car. Do I get, oh man, do my stress levels rise? Slightly above average, but then I realize we're all a family and we got each other and we're all doing the best that we can. Look at the beautiful city of Toronto. We're downtown, kicking butt, taking names. Ladies and gentlemen, you're like, where do I get these videos? Oh man, give me a second, fam. Give me a second before I tell you where you can get these videos. Give me a second, because Papa's got the clammy hands right now. We're clammy. We need to just make sure that we don't drop the old camera, because this is a lifeline. Okay? Good. You can get these videos on Instagram if you like segments. You can get these videos on YouTube if you like the full-length videos. Go ahead and search Rob Sadri or Gladyamadeit, and you'll get the full-length videos. And then you can subscribe to help me out, help yourself out, and help out the algorithm. Will somebody please think of the algorithm? Have you seen your algorithm lately? It's really loud here. Hold on. All right, we got through the noise. So yes, once again, you can get these videos on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Patreon every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And life, fam, happens on a daily, and we make all sorts of efforts to do all sorts of wonderful things. It just takes a little bit of imagination, a little bit of willingness, a little bit of thinking outside the box, like the first fella who thought of sitting on a wood log. I'm talking about the first people, hundreds of thousands of years ago, when the first men and women were still running around naked and lying on the floor, really uncomfortable. One day, one fella said to the rest of the gang, hey, instead of lying on the dirt floor and hurting ourselves, why don't we take a piece of wood and flip it over like a little log and sit on it around the campfire? And initially people were, you know, mixed bag, mixed emotions. They were like, Jerry, what are you talking about? What do you mean sit on a piece of wood where we can easily sit on the floor or the ground? And he just took that piece of wood and he flipped it over and he sat down. And you know, the ladies were like looking at him because he's now playing a different game. The fellas were also looking at him because what's he doing? What's Jerry doing? He's sitting on a piece of log, crossing his legs like he's better than us, like he's all that. But guess what, fam? If it wasn't for Jerry and the invention of the log, we would be still to this day sitting on perhaps raw dirt, and nobody likes sitting on raw dirt. Okay, so some people really enjoy sitting on the grass, even the dirt, dude. I'll dabble in dirt myself every once in a while, you know what I mean, just to get back to nature and everything. But if it wasn't for Jerry and thinking outside the box, and if he didn't stick to his guns, because initially people were not for it. They're like, we're not gonna have any of this. We're hunters and gatherers. We're the type of people that like to walk. We're the type of people that like to hunt and gather. There's no time to sit down and enjoy a meal. You either stand up or you lie down on the ground. And you know, Jerry was an innovator. He was a trailblazer of sorts. And I want you to be like Jerry. Yeah, Jerry from hundreds of thousands of years ago. You know, Jerry, good guy. Often not spoken about in history, but he's there doing it like us together as we're doing it. I love you, gang. I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend wherever you are in and around this beautiful planet. Talk about this show. It is a one-man operation. We are learning, growing, having fun, telling stories, you and me meeting the beautiful people of this city, and hopefully a city near you anytime soon, anytime now, as soon as things, you know, one step at a time, things can, you know, I love the time, you know what, I'm happy about the time. I don't want it to be going any faster, I don't want it to be going any slower, so we're happy with it. Whoa, lots of noises in the downtown area. Once again, I want to say, Jesus, oh my God, total, you know, just messing up the vibes here with that noise, but I can't control it. That's just the city. I was trying to say I love you. That guy's doing that thing, whatever he's doing, they're working, helping the city, doing his part, but also, you know, causing a ruckus for the podcast. So, you know, is he helping or is he hindering? Debatable. So typical when you hear that backup beep beep beep. It's so typical, you know. Change it up. Get a new ringtone. We've been hearing it for ages. Beep beep. I know what it is. What about a new ringtone for the cars? That's what's up, baby. I'll talk to you guys on Monday. Stay safe. Talk about it. Pass it around like it's hotcakes and drugs. And we'll see each other very soon. Peace out.